All right.
All right, good morning. We got Aaron Carter with us this morning.
I'm excited to be here back in my hometown. It's been a while, so.
Thanks for coming down this morning. I know last night you had a big night at Sockets.
Yeah, man, it was awesome. For me, it was probably one of my biggest, most memorable nights for sure, because everybody there was I was running into people I ain't seen in years, people I had never met before, and they were all showing so much love. And so it was
a lot of your friends came out.
Oh man, a ton of people I went to high school with. I haven't seen since 2014. So
some family members showed up.
My aunt showed up. She lives all the way in Madisonville. My mom came down and had a couple other folks down there too. So
good deal. Good. Glad you got to do that, and I know Al and them sure appreciate it.
Oh yeah,
sure.
They're a great group of people up there. So
I'm sure they'll have you back. But want to get you down here and talk to you a little bit. I mean, I'm normally talking about duck hunting or trail running, stuff like that. But anybody knows me knows I like music just about as much as I like those things. So I wanted to pick your brain a little bit about what got you going in this and where you started. And let's start out talking about you grew up here in Rockwood.
Yeah, Rockwood native. Been here my entire life. Went to Rockwood High School. Graduated in 2014. I was a terrible student, and so I didn't think I was ever going to go to college or anything like that. So
I know, my wife talked about having you in Ridgeview. Said you were pretty wild over there, I think.
Oh man, I was wild all the way through school. So
well, you made it. You got out there. So were you playing music in Rockwood or learning?
Yeah, so I got my first guitar, I think, in the 8th grade, and I watched this guy on YouTube named Marty Schwartz, and I started picking around on the guitar. And it was funny when I first learned to play the guitar, I only knew like 2 chords. It was the G chord and the C chord, and so every song, it don't matter what song it was, I was always playing those 2 chords, and I learned those 2 chords, and every once in a while, I'd be like, "Hey mom, hey dad, check out this song." And I knew the chords wasn't right, but every chord was G and C, and I just went along with it. And I was like, yeah, that's awesome.
It's working. What kind of music were you playing then or listening to?
Man, I've always been a huge country fan, obviously, but I've been big into like 80s rock and with a little bit of. I mean, when I was younger, I was in a big. It's kind of funny that I say this, but which I had problems with it now. But Aaron Carter and all those poppy.
Yeah, the other Aaron Carter.
Yeah, the other one, the outdated Aaron Carter.
The boy bands.
Yeah, so that was my thing back when I was younger. So
I'm sure I went to school with your dad. I'm sure you had a lot of 80s music influence from him.
A ton. And he's a great musician himself. He's really good at the drums and stuff. So.
Yeah, I remember him playing the drums. So you got out of high school and you told me you went on to Tennessee Tech.
Yeah, I went to Tennessee Tech. I was initially wanting to go to be a doctor. So I had a biology. I was going for biology and realized that I couldn't get through chemistry, so I ended up having to change pathways, and so I switched to sociology with a minor in criminal justice, which I found that it was a lot better for me because I was huge into the whole criminal justice thing, and I'm real big on learning about how people think and psychology and stuff. So it was kind of cool for me to go that route.
So what year would that have been like?
So
15, 16 through there?
15, yeah. And at the same time I was doing that, I was also going to EMT school. So
which is what you're doing now.
Yeah.
Right. You're telling me. So where was the music at then?
Man, I was just still trucking. By that time, I had gotten a lot better at the guitar, learned, the bar chords and all kinds of stuff. And I was actually, I roomed with Tully Watson up at Tennessee Tech.
Oh, yeah, and he's good friends with my son.
Yeah, so me and him was all the time jamming out in our little apartment stuff. So.
Can Tully play?
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's not bad.
I know Peyton, I'm pretty sure he taught himself. And
yeah, he tears them strings up.
Yeah, we should have had him come down and join us. But so what happened after school with the music?
Well, honestly, I was just kind of still writing a little bit and doing some covers and stuff, but I wasn't like playing publicly anywhere. I was just kind of sitting on it and just keep on doing my thing. I never really understood how to get your music out there and get it in people's ears, and so I just kept.
In college, did you ever think you would get into the business? Or
no, not at all. No, that actually didn't even get into my mind until a couple years later. So
So after college, you told me you ended up in North Carolina. How'd that come about?
After college, my wife and I had ended up finding out about this organization that does mission work in Haiti, and so we ended up going down there, and come to find out, one of the founders of the organization is a paramedic in Knoxville, and I had worked with him, and so when we landed in Haiti and we ran into him, I was like, oh, he's like, oh, hey. I was like, hey. I was like, is this your work? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh, wow.
So you didn't know he was going to be there?
Yeah, no. So it was pretty cool to know somebody.
Right. What year was that?
We flew down, I want to say 17 or 18, I think.
Okay. So. How long were you down there doing that work?
Oh man. So we would go for a week at a time, and I've done a couple of trips down there, but I haven't been back in a while.
Okay. So now you're in North Carolina.
Yeah. So after my first trip, I realized that I felt like on my heart that I had more to do, and I told my old lady, I said, hey, whenever we get back, we're going to move to North Carolina. And she's like, no, we're not moving to North Carolina. I'm like, nah, really?
Were you living in Rockwood then?
No, I was living in Jefferson City.
Okay.
So a couple months later, she ended up, I was actually at the end of another job hiring process, and she called me. She's like, hey, I got a job in North Carolina. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I better tell them that I'm moving. So
So you go over there and you get an EMT job?
Yeah, it was actually really tough to find a job over there on the ambulance, actually. I worked at UPS for a while, tossing packages around until I found a job on the ambulance, and I've been there for about 2 years. I think January would have been 2 years there. So
over there is where the music's going to take out for you?
Yeah, so I would come in for a week at a time and hang out and visit my family and friends and stuff, and I went up to my buddy's house in Knoxville, and he's also big into music and writing and stuff, and he and I sat down and I was showing him some of the stuff that I had written, and he's like, man, you should really look into getting that out there. And I was like, yeah, whatever, we'll see. And then when I came back was when it just coincidence or meant to happen, but one of my buddies, Jeremy Neely, that I met about 12 years ago, he's been doing music and releasing music for about 20 years. He kind of really coaxed me into cutting a song, and that's kind of where it all started.
And that's who you were with a couple days ago, Nashville?
Yeah.
Jeremy?
Yep.
I saw those posts. What was the first song you did?
The first song I released was Places, but it wasn't like a studio cut. It was just an acoustic. I did all the mixing and mastering myself.
At home?
Then
You're doing that at home?
Yeah, and then the second one, which I released on December 31st, which is the first studio cut song, Hit Rewind, was the first one that really started the whole music.
And that's in 2021?
Yeah, December 31st is when the first one released. So
what did you do with that song? I mean, you said it took off for you. How did that take off?
And so part of the whole like releasing, distributing, and all that kind of stuff, it's kind of a tedious process, but basically you find you a distributor online, and as an independent artist, you kind of just got to do it all yourself. So I found the cheapest and the most efficient distributor, and so I just basically uploaded my music to it and got it sent out there. But like, I guess backing up to the Hit Rewind, so his producer that does all of his music is in Wales, Cardiff, Wales, in like Great Britain.
Right, overseas.
Yeah, so my producer that's my producer too, and so he does all my music.
Okay.
And so I cut everything from home, and then I send it to him, and then he does all the mixing and mastering.
He cleans it up.
Yeah, but he actually plays all the instruments and everything on it, so it's pretty cool. I basically send him a rough track of, hey, look, this is my song, this is how I want it, and he does his magic with it.
So like on a song like This Town, all the music's being done by him.
Yeah, so so basically what I do is I find like 10 songs that I kind of want it to be like. So, for example, like some of the influences for like This Town were some of Morgan Wallen's songs, a mixture of like Toby Keith and like Blake Shelton's and Ernest. It's got a little bit of everything in it, because the whole point of This Town was like having that like real like hometown feel like how much your hometown really means to you. So it just got a combination of a bunch of different elements and put it all together, and boom.
And you explained all that to him.
Yeah,
what you wanted.
Yeah, so we usually have several Zoom calls and phone calls and stuff like that to kind of talk about everything before we start.
How long did that process take for, like, use that song for an example?
So this town, I think we started. So I think that one released on like March 10th, and it takes a couple weeks to get the backing track done, and then you got to cut your vocals and then your harmonies, and so you got to do everything in like pieces. Okay. And so it takes a couple of weeks to get, and then once he cuts a mix, then you got to listen to it like basically relentlessly for about a week to just pick out any little thing that you don't like so you can fix it before the final version.
I know right at the end of duck seasons when Trey Kelly started telling me about you, so I started listening, and we started talking on emails, and you would tell me, hey, here's this sample of this song, but you can't use it until a certain day. What was going on with that? Why?
So the reason I usually don't like let people use it before a certain day is so like if people, so for example, let's say you use like this town on like one of your videos,
on a reel or something.
So if somebody's like, hey man, that's an awesome song, and they go to find it, they can't find it because it's not released.
Okay.
So if you use it after it's released, they can go find it and be like, okay, well now I can listen to the whole song.
Yeah, they might miss out on it. Or get discouraged if they can't find it.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was that or some kind of legal.
No.
You were waiting on.
No. It's just
trying to protect it. Yeah. Trey first told me about you, and I'd heard some people talking about you, but Trey started talking about you hunting, so I started looking it up, and I loved it. So
yeah, me and Trey's been friends, man. We've been friends for a long time since we were real little. So yeah.
He's real big now. He's a big dude.
Oh yeah.
He's grew up with us in the duck blind. He's a great guy, a great dad.
Oh yeah.
His dad's awesome. But I know Trey helped you some, did some aerial stuff for you for
so it's kind of funny. I was like, hey man, because I'm still in the process of shooting a music video for this town. I'm kind of holding off on it because I want it to be this like big extravagant thing. And I was like, hey, do you mind like shooting some like cool footage for me that way I can make like a promo video? And he's like, yeah dude. And so he went and shot some footage and some pictures and all that stuff, and I basically just put everything together and then laid the song over top of it, and it blew up. I mean, I think I got like 8,000 something views on it.
Oh yeah.
And I got like 150 shares or something. So I mean, it was wild.
I know. I like the acoustic version of that one. When you put that on Spotify, I've been wearing that out.
Yeah, no, I'm actually so I'm taking basically all my songs and the majority of them, and I'm cutting acoustic versions of them, and I'm going to put out like an acoustic sessions album where it's all just acoustic songs. So
that stuff's hot right now.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Spotify now. Your songs are on there. How did you start that?
Well, so part of the distributor that I have is basically when you upload your song to their service, they send it out everywhere. So basically anywhere that has digital streaming, they'll put my song on. And so that includes like Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Deezer, Pandora, iHeartRadio. So they basically do all that for me, which is kind of cool, and it takes a lot off me. But once I got it released, I got my own like verified Spotify profile and everything, so it was kind of
I've noticed you go in there and you'll put descriptions and stuff. I wonder if you were doing that yourself.
Yeah, I put my own bio in there, and now that I'm kind of playing at a lot of bigger places and starting to open up for some bigger artists, Spotify's now got my like concert listing on the bottom of my
keeps your schedule on there.
Yeah, so cool. It's just kind of cool.
And I guess you're paying for all that stuff.
So the music. So to cut a song, it's about $700. That part's probably the most expensive part, and but as far as the distribution, it's only like $30 a year, so I can't really complain about it now. Some services, like they'll charge you per song, so it'll be like $20 a song.
And I look at your Spotify views now, and I mean they're getting up there.
Yeah, so
listening.
Yeah, this town is, like I said, it's probably my biggest song. It's like 20,000 streams right now, so it's and I think Fairy Tale just hit 10,000 yesterday, a couple days ago. So
yeah, that's another good one. People need to. If you haven't heard those, you need to go listen to them. So, I guess What do you see in the future? Well, I mean, what's your next big move?
Man, I hope when I get moved back to Tennessee, the music scene's kind of going to be what I'm targeting. It's I got a lot of opportunities coming up in the near future, and I've still got 15 songs that I'm not cut yet. So I'm waiting to. I got
these are all songs you wrote yourself.
Yeah. So me and my co-writer, I usually write all the songs for the most part, and then when I get down to like the ending, I'll have him, because I'm kind of bad at grammar a little bit, so like tenses, like I'll first person, third person, and so he'll kind of go through and help me clean it up before I cut it, and then we just put each other on there as writers, and everything that he's writing right now, I'm helping him write, so it's kind of the same thing for that too. So
was Fairy Tale one of your songs, or was that somebody else's?
So that song was actually written for my co-writer's daughter's wedding.
Okay, I thought I read that.
Yeah, so he called me up. He's like, hey man, he's like, I kind of want to do something special for my daughter's wedding. He's like, I want to write a song for her. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So he sent me an email with his son-in-law's vows and a little bit about their backstory. And so, part of how the song came along was they used to, just drive back roads and hang out and all kinds of stuff. And their first kiss was in a Walmart parking lot. So it just so happened that Walmart first kiss, Fairy Tale. Yeah. So it just kind of, once we started reading the vows and stuff, man, the song just came together so quick. I think we wrote that in about 35, 40 minutes.
Wow.
It came together super quick. So.
I like that one. So you mentioned come back to Tennessee. Where do you plan on moving back to?
I'd probably Knoxville, just for the time being, depending on if I can find a job up that way. But I'd say I'm probably going to be in Nashville quite a bit and playing some stuff. And I'm really trying to focus on every time I come into town, Rockwood's always got something new, man. I'm always passing some new store or new like mom and pop shop or something. So it's really warms my heart to see that Rockwood's really starting to develop, and I'm really wanting to help small businesses out with get some live music in there and kind of start a foundation for that, because that's really what brings in the money.
Yeah, you know. Play. There's several places to play. You might even come down and play down here at Sisters Market.
Yeah.
Get Gavin on stage with you over there.
All right.
But you're talking about Rockwood businesses. We're sitting right here in one that's been here for forever, Jerry's Bait Shop. So.
Yeah, man. I used to come in here as a kid all the time. All the time.
All the kids have grew up in here. A lot of them have come through here.
Yeah.
But I thank you for coming down today. I don't know, we got 1,000 things we could talk about.
Right.
We'll wrap it up.
All right.
We wish you the best. We'll help you all we can and get your name out there. And if you're watching this today and you haven't heard any Aaron's music, go check it out. You'll like it. And I'll ask you one thing before we leave. I asked you earlier about, do you consider yourself country music? And you said yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'd ever say I'm anything else but country. So
you're doing great, and wish you the best. And just keep us in some good music down here. Maybe you can write one about Jerry, about duck hunting and
stuff. There we go, yeah.
Or some other stuff that goes on down here we can't talk about.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. I've had fun, and we'll get you back on here, maybe. When you blow up, don't forget us.
Oh, I can never forget these folks.
All right, thanks, man.
All right, thanks.
How was that, Gavin?